Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So the word I want us to talk about briefly this morning is faqir, faf, qaf, and ra. So whenever we recite it in the Quran, it's translated as poor. And in some, I guess in one place it was even translated as need, being in need. Like in the story of Musa, alayhi salatu wasalam, when he ran away from Egypt, and after he spoke to the sisters and he just went back in his prayer, he was like, basically, I've become fakir. Oh God, grant me whatever good there is. And the word that was related to need is fakir. And I think that's Quran 28 verse 24. Also, we see it in Quran 2 verse 268, where Allah says that Shaitan threatens us with faqr, F-A-Q-R, faqr. So he threatens us with poverty and commands us to do fahsha. And so there's this, and of course there I think was translated to poverty. So what does fakir really mean? What does fakir really mean? So we have this divergent meaning. In some places, poor, poverty, and the likes. So fakir in classical Arabic is said of the vertebra. The vertebra in the, like, you know, the spine goes way down in our back, and then there's the vertebra that covers it up, the bone structure that covers it up. And when it breaks, this is called fakir. When it breaks, it's called fakir. And not just the vertebra breaking. So between each vertebra, there's the intervertebral disc. So there's this squishy stuff like a shock absorber. That also, over time, there's wear and tear. So there can be wear and tear so much so that it's basically like the person is in real pain, and probably even affect their control and definitely affect their posture. They cannot stand straight. So not only does fakir mean the breaking of the vertebra, it also means when the intervertebral disc has substantial wear and tear, and this is fakir. And of course, when the vertebra breaks, it's going to affect the intervertebral disc also, and probably disrupt things in it. So mainly, it is when the disc breaks, and it's when the vertebra breaks, because to definitely affect the intervertebral disc anyway. So this is fakir. And we know from science or from biology that when one goes through this incident, it is a very painful stuff, and it affects one standing up straight. So in trying to describe the financial status of someone, in classical Arabic, they came up with that expression, fakir. So in a way, if we look at Quran 9 verse 60, fakir was even mentioned before miskin. So like if we're looking at grades of poverty, I think fakir is probably number one. Some scholars are of the opinion that miskin comes before fakir, but I think fakir is number one, because not only will this person be immobile, even when they try to be mobile, they will be in so much pain. And not only that, their movements or their being outside may be embarrassing to them. You see? Because everybody now is able to notice them and know, oh wow, that's a fakir. That's someone, because of how they are bending in pain, sluggish, probably unkempt, you know, a lot of things that you would see right away, and you'll be able to identify them as fakir. And so, an example is Musa, alayhi salatu wasalam. I mean, he fled Egypt without carrying anything. And who knows how many miles he had to run and being there. And of course, his clothes cannot be in the best shape. Of course, so you don't literally have to be when we're talking about poverty, you don't literally have to have a broken back to be financially unstable, you see. And so this is what we see in the story of Musa. And this is how we should, I guess in today, we already spoke about miskin, but I may talk about it briefly here also, so as to give us context. But, and there I said miskin today will, anybody that's earning minimum wage will be miskin. And some people that are earning more than minimum wage can also be miskin, but I feel like minimum wage is miskin level. But I think fakir is way below minimum wage. Fakir today will probably be someone that's homeless. Someone that's homeless. And as you can see in the story of Musa, he was homeless at the time. You see? Someone that's homeless and basically do not know where their next meal is going to come from. Do not know where the next sustenance is going to come from. This is fakir. And as I said in Quran 9 verse 60, one of those that we have to give charity to are the fakir. May Allah ease our affairs. And if I may briefly talk about miskin, you can check out the video where I spoke about it. But to summarize, miskin is said of someone that even though they need, they would not beg. Instead of someone that's just in tranquility with their financial state, and they will not beg, they will not look out. So you have to basically seek the miskin. You know that they are going to work, doing their thing, and you know that they are in need. If you give someone like that, like $100, you probably see them crying, you see, and they never begged. They're just earning their minimum wage and going home and paying their bills and getting stuff done. But they are miskin because they won't beg. Of course, there's another classification of those that will beg. Hopefully one of these days we'll talk about those that beg also. But the miskin will not beg. They are in tranquility, just like I use the expression tranquil as in tranquilizers. So they are still, they won't beg, they won't come forward, but they are in need, and you know that they are in need, and you can extend charity to them. But the fakir, that one, even though they might not beg, they may beg or might not beg, but you can see that they are out. They are out. There's no sustenance. There is no hope for a better living. There's no hope for a better standing. And so this basically the destitute and the homeless, these are fakir. May Allah ease our affairs. May Allah not make us believe the whisperings of shaitan that we would be fakir if we give of our wealth. You see, because that's what shaitan wants. Shaitan whispers in our minds that we should not give charity because we may become fakir. You see, and so may Allah help us against such whisperings, and may Allah make us one of those that give to the fakir, that give to the miskin. Seek out the miskin and give to them. Seek out the fakir and give to them. May Allah ease our affairs, protect us, guide every step we take, guide every move we make. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa sallim taslim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.